The year is 2023. PBS Plus has just launched, bringing the world's streaming services to 4,387. How can anyone be expected to go through all this content? Fear not, loyal passengers. Captain Joe Shoes and his first mate Mez are here to travel through space and time to bring you the best nuggets pop culture has to offer. Strap in. It's time for the JoeMeZ podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 343 of the JoeMeZ podcast. I'm Mez, and my co-host, as always, is...
I'm Joe from the JoeMeZ podcast.
Yeah, you are, buddy. What's
the magistrate of Caravan City.
Yeah. You are that, yes.
I forgot about that. It's been a long week.
What's the matter? What happened?
I'm not doing well. I'm having a lot of issues right now. And
no.
Yeah, it's the past month and a half have not exactly been the easiest, and this week
Sure.
I feel like things are coming to a head as far as other things causing me stress and a little bit of depression, and I'm struggling a little bit right now, and I'm gonna.
Sorry to hear this.
It's a lot of things with work. You know, like when
work. Here we go.
It is a work thing. I'm not very happy at my job. I recently was told I'm getting a promotion, basically, and the position I'm currently in just doesn't feel the need to release me to go into that promotion, which is making me quite unhappy.
How is that allowed, bro?
Because business. And this is why you should never show any loyalty toward your company, because your company does not give a fuck about you.
Nope.
And it doesn't matter how unhappy I am. Doesn't matter how unhappy other people are to have me there. For people I don't get along with, it's become a thing. It just feels like spite, and I leave work every day feeling mentally exhausted and completely unmotivated to do anything else, which is why, in truth, you haven't seen consistent YouTube content from me in a while. In truth, you haven't seen a lot of good-natured social media posts. My posts have become very sparing. I'm just not in a good spot, and it bothers me a lot. And it's because, like, all I want to do is eat something crappy and go to sleep. Like, I just want some kind of comfort food and go to sleep. And what sucks is, before my dad died, and we're going on 2 months now. But before my dad died, I was doing pretty good. I was keeping to a diet. I felt like I was gonna do some improvement. I wanted to quit smoking. I can't quit smoking because of this job, because if I didn't smoke, I really don't know how I would handle things. Like, legitimately, it's become a crutch, and it just is what it is. And then once my dad died, I took a week and I ate like shit and kind of just hung around and moped for a little bit. And I think that's understandable. I think anyone can relate to that. Of course. But when it comes time to like get back up and let's get back to work, let's do some stuff. And then like you go back into this fucking toxic environment that does nothing but harm you. But like there's nothing I can do about it, because we all have to work. And the fact of the matter is I've been with this company too long now to just pick up and leave and start somewhere else, from the bottom floor. Like, it just, unfortunately, money makes the world go round, and I need it. Yeah. I have some. I keep it in a small jar on top of my refrigerator, and I would like to continue adding to that jar. Yeah. And that's
2 jars.
I'd like to make 2 jars one day.
Yeah.
Instead, I just have this little baby formula jar.
Oh, no, that's a little jar.
It's a tiny jar. And as somewhat of a size queen, I'd like a bigger jar.
This is unacceptable.
And what doesn't help, I shouldn't say what doesn't help, but what makes things even more difficult is when I get to play celebrity sometimes. So I'll go to California and I'll have a great weekend and do some fun things and get to be a quasi celebrity for a weekend where people some people act genuinely happy to see me and want to take pictures with me. And I love it and I enjoy it. And it is one of the great joys of my life. And it's very appreciated that people would want to do that. But then it makes going back to real life very much more difficult. Because you come off these great weekends, you know, like the one I just had in Los Angeles or the one a few months ago in Orlando, where you have this great weekend. You put on a good performance. People seem to enjoy your appearance. You get to you get to hang out with your friends and do some cool shit. And then you go back to this place that basically goes out of its way to fucking make you miserable. And I know that's why you guys that's not why you guys listen to this podcast, and I'm sorry for trying to bring you down so early in the show. But this is the reality of the situation, and I like this show. It's very therapeutic for me because I get to say things like this and get it out. I feel like I can come here and I can talk about whatever the fuck I want because it's my show.
Sure.
And I don't have to be quote unquote on if I don't want to be. Yeah. And it's sometimes being on when you don't feel like being on is very, very difficult.
Yes, sir.
But that's also, you know, as the great Dr. J, Julius Irving once said.
Oh, what'd he say, bro?
Well, he said lots of things, but one in particular, I assume he's had many conversations in his life. I don't want to assume Dr. J just talks a lot. I've never met the man.
He won't shut up, bro.
Goddamn Dr. J. Like, enough is enough, bro. Can we get a little quiet time? Just a quiet car, bro. But as Dr. J once said, being a professional means doing the things that you love when you don't want to do them.
Sure.
And I do want to do this show. It's not that I don't want to do this show. It's just, if I sound tired or I sound beat up, I'm sorry. This is just the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
My life has no Kelly Clarkson in it right now, so it sucks without her.
Well, we keep it real on this show. You know, this is what we do. I think our fans appreciate that.
And I wasn't planning on saying all this when we started. This wasn't something Gomez and I talked over. It's just, man, I'm just in that fucking spot. I'm in that rut, and you hit these ruts every now and then. Eventually, you fucking kick out.
Sure,
you hope. Yes. But you also hope that when you do show loyalty and you do work hard, that you will be rewarded for that on the back end. And when you're not, you're basically being punished for such a thing. Man, it's just fucking deflating.
It's rough, bro.
So that's where I'm at. And but thank you guys for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening and or watching it. Leave a 5-star review. Follow us on all the social medias at JoeMeZ. And Gomez, I think let's follow up some depressing news with something depressing.
What happened now?
So we've been following the WCW Nitro Arena playset crowdfunded project from Mattel.
Whoa, what's happening? What happened?
So the early bird window has closed.
It didn't meet it?
It did not meet it. So we are not getting the Hulk Hogan figure. Now it's up to, we have about a month left. Are we going to hit any of the goals?
Is that a bad sign when it doesn't hit the early bird?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, do projects often make it up at the end? Like,
no. So here's the thing. These crowdfunded projects that go into, you know, that get put up in the first place, it's rare for them not to hit. They may not hit all the goals. Like my Eternia did not hit the final goal, but it's still funded.
Sure.
The last WWE crowdfund was the New Gen Arena with the light up entranceway and the real scale ring. That funded kind of early because they offered a announcer Macho Man as a early backer bonus. So it funded, but it didn't hit the end goals until like the very end. Once people saw it was getting close, and they're like, okay, this could put it over the top, and then we get the ultimate Doink the Clown figure.
I love it.
And that's really what it was. It was Ultimate Doink the Clown was the final
Love
stretch
it.
goal, which was a really cool goal because it's not something that probably ever would have gotten released without a project like this. So if you have an opportunity to get this figure that you will never, ever get again, then yeah, it adds some incentive. And I think Mattel kind of dropped the ball with that, with their figure selection with this project. So it was Hogan at, if it hit 5,000 in the first week, you would get the Hulk Hogan. Once it funded, you also get the Rey Mysterio. At 7, you get DDP. At 9, Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner. And at 11, the WCW debut Ultimate Warrior. All of those guys, it's not like they're going to stop making Hulk Hogan figures,
No, it's a very generic Hulk Hogan. It's just red and yellow Hulk Hogan. It's not
like they're going to stop making Rey Mysterio figures. And they've already made 1 billion Rey Mysterio figures. And there are 1 billion more to make because the man's smart and kept changing up his gear.
Yes.
Like I said, the one people wanted was the Steiner, and you kept it at 9,000. And like, this isn't going to be the only chance you get to have Scott Steiner. Like, if they got the Steiners, if they have the ability to make the Steiners, you're going to get a bunch of different Scott Steiners.
100%. I would believe.
And with a price tag of $400 in today's economic environment, that's a big nut to ask. Not everyone has $400 laying around. And honestly, WCW's been dead for so long right now that it almost feels like, is there enough people out there just who are genuine WCW fans left?
Yes, it's very like it's a random. We're just gonna do WCW at the moment. Like if there was an anniversary or something like that, it's just hey, we're doing WCW.
Now, don't get me wrong, it is super cool, and I got to see it in person.
Yeah, I
think it looks even better in person.
I bet it does.
It looks incredible. I'm not a wrestling collector, so I'm out. I'm watching from afar. I have no skin in this game.
Yeah,
I'd like to see it get funded, just because for the people who want it, I'd like you to be able to get it.
Sure.
But yeah, right now it's hovering around only 40% funded, and there's plenty of time left. Things can change, but I think people are already looking at this as a loss, because if you don't fund all the way up to the end of the figures, I think people are going to come away very disappointed. And if it only barely makes the goal and all you get is that Rey Mysterio figure, I think you're going to see people rushing to cancel orders before that deadline.
Has that happened where something is about to be funded and at the last minute a bunch of cancellations?
Not like that. I mean, we're starting to see some cancellations now. It's not in like big quantities, but it is, there are some people out there who are already canceling their orders because they wanted everything. So they wanted that early Hogan, and now they're not getting that. And I guess that was enough for them to be like, you know what? I'll spend my money elsewhere.
Damn, that's a shame. I was not that I was going to buy it, but I was excited to see that this thing would be out in the wild. It would be all these awesome toys. That's a shame.
I think they missed the boat kind of by not having like a niche figure, like a Doink. Yeah. And I don't know who they are able to make, or I guess someone Morris, Glacier,
something like that. 100%, I get it. Yeah.
If you tell me, we're gonna get the Ultimate Glacier figure at 9,000, all of a sudden I'm like,
it's pretty cool. Mortis and Glacier combo. Yeah.
Give me a high energy.
I thought that Warrior was fucking Renegade at first. I was like, what did they make?
Really?
I said, they would make some Renegade. I just saw some. I wouldn't even, because Ultimate Warrior and WCW just doesn't,
I know you blocked it out of your mind.
It just doesn't. It's not a thing. So I was like, is this a fucking? And I was like, that's fucking Warrior. But give me a Renegade.
Give me the Disciple.
That'd be a good one. I would.
We know they have the rights to Ed Leslie. Give me the Disciple.
Oh my god, that's funny. But at the same time, they go, "Who's gonna want a Disciple?" Right? It's like that double edge.
There's someone out there that's gonna be like, "Oh man," because when they did the Zodiac figure last year, people went bonkers for it.
Yeah, I would too. That's pretty awesome. A Zodiac figure.
And the Goon, they did a Goon figure.
So that's what it is. So they got to make these stupid characters. That's what people want. They want the rare shit.
They're characters people have never been able to have in their figure feds. They're they're characters that people know and watched. And if you're a collector, at this point, it's adults collecting these things.
14 Razor Ramones. I get it. You want something else.
Like, unless you're a Rey Mysterio completist, how many do you really need?
I'm sure there's people like that, but yeah, that's
100%.
That's not the average person.
Yes.
I got my 10th Rey Mysterio. This is the one.
Bro, there are literally people with hundreds of Rey Mysterio figures.
I believe it because I see he's like in every line. They're always throwing a Rey Mysterio in there, bro.
He's very toyetic, different colors, different designs, different outfits.
What if they made a rowdy animal Rey Mysterio? Right,
Filthy
with no
animal.
mask. Filthy animal. That's what it is. Filthy animal, right? No mask. Are they allowed to do that?
Kind of thrown about, but I don't know whether they're even allowed to do that.
Yeah, I wonder if they're allowed to do that because that would be something,
WWE doesn't acknowledge that he ever had the mask off.
Because that would be something to have a Rey figure like that. Yeah. That's so different.
There is a filthy animal Rey Mysterio figure from the Toy Biz line. Back when WCW was still around, he had like the soft good camo pants.
Yes, yeah, the camo pants. Oh, see, so that's all right. So the key to it, so they gotta hire you, Joe. So you could just be like, nah, we need a weirder guy here. This not weird enough.
But you know what? It's not even. I'm not the only one saying that. The figure selection was kind of underwhelming, and that was kind of one of the critiques from the beginning. And I think now it's just showing. It's a very niche within a niche item. It's a high price point, and the goals weren't exactly, especially the early backer goal, the Hogan, wasn't one that you were like, holy fuck, like this is a Hogan that we don't have and I need. Like, there are enough Hogans out there where this one kind of feels there apparently there was some talk at one point to making it a Pastamania Hogan.
That would have been awesome.
Now, had you done a Pastamania Hogan,
a little hat, come on, bro.
I think the spaghetti with the fork.
Yeah.
I think maybe we're probably funded it already. If the Pastamania Hogan is the early backer bonus.
Do you think the size? How many people go? I just can't buy it.
100%. That's absolutely a concern. It's massive, and there are people who won't buy it simply based on the size.
Because like that's awesome. It's like where would I ever put something like that? Is just
now they have a feature like you can take part of it down and kind of make it a slim fit where it can kind of just fit on a shelf. Nah. But to me,
you buying it. You're buying
it. Like that defeats the purpose, right? Like the whole point is, and don't get me wrong, I think Mattel did the right thing by making it the way they did.
Yes.
Because you want that authenticity. I don't necessarily want like a cheap piece of plastic and a cardboard background that will sell for $45 at Walmart. Like if you're gonna do this, do it the way they did it with the electronic lights, with the entranceway, the WCW letters, like. And make it all legit pieces. So I think it's good. It's just it's a hard for a number of reasons now. Whether it's the size, the cost, the figure selection, the bonuses. I'll be watching it still because I'm interested in the game. In the game. It's not often these crowdfund projects really don't fund. I mean, the most recent one I can think of was a Ghost Rider. Where it didn't hit the early backer, and that was like kaput then after that. Once it didn't hit that.
It was just a regular Ghost Rider?
It was like some special kind of Ghost Rider. I don't know enough about Ghost Rider to really know. Yeah. But then there was the Star Wars Rancor. They were doing a special.
Oh yeah.
But the stretch goals weren't really appealing. So it didn't, by the end, it didn't hit.
That sucks, bro. Come on. Who don't want a Rancor?
Had they waited to do the Rancor until he showed up in the Mandalorian show, this was before that. Had they waited, the rush for the Rancor would have been through the moon.
100%. See that? They didn't have that synergy there, bro. Well, another follow-up, Joe. You mentioned we're talking about wrestling here. You mentioned your boy Tony Khan had a big announcement AEW last week.
Was that not? I watched Dynamite this week.
Yeah.
Start to finish.
Really?
Live.
Why the fuck did you do that?
I wanted to hear the big announcement.
What you think of the big announcement, bro?
When it was over, I said, but really, what is it?
I mean, it's a big announcement. It is big.
To who?
Listen,
to the people who were like in London who are like, oh my God, this is going to be the first ever. This guy invented wrestling in London.
No, I get it. It's big for if you're like a fan of the company, you want the company to do good. Like it's like, oh, that's good for them. They're trying this thing. But realistically, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna watch it on TV. Like,
And fucking Desmond Wolf is like the one making it.
Desmond Wolf.
Isn't that his name?
Yeah, Nigel McGuinness, baby. Desmond Wolf. Yeah, TNA. I love Desmond Wolf. It was great.
I just like we're still doing Desmond Wolf here, like in fucking 2023.
So they're doing Wembley Stadium. Could seat 90,000. Obviously, it won't be 90 with a stage and everything. So let's say
it'll be 100.
So let's say they could fit. How many people you think? You think they get like 30, 40,000 in there?
I don't know, man. I think in a place that big, you risk it looking horribly empty if you don't come close. Like if it's say set up for 80,000 people and you draw 30, it's gonna look like an indie wrestling show.
I think it depends on how they film.
And 30,000 is a lot of people.
30,000 is great. It's the biggest thing they've ever done.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but people are gonna look at it and go, "Wow, the building looked fucking empty." And then because of all the empty space, the sound is gonna be terrible.
I want to go back and look at that Nitro where Goldberg beat Hogan, because that's at the Georgia Dome. Yeah. It's like 80,000. I think there was like 40.
I think it's like 45,000 people there.
But the
setup,
the setup was, they could fit 80,000, but I think like 30 to 40,000 did come. I want to see how they shot that and stuff, how they made it look for that, because that is true. Yeah. You got a big stadium, it's half full. It is half full. It's still amazing to get 40,000 people in your first ever AEW. Yeah. It's still a big thing. So,
and I think it'll draw well, by standards, but I don't think it's going to draw 80,000 well. WrestleMania just drew 80,000.
Well, what would you do if this shit sold out? Could you imagine?
No,
that'd be insane.
It'd be ridiculous.
I couldn't imagine. I don't think they would have to have some crazy. That's the thing. I don't think they have like a match, like I guess CM Punk, right? If they bring CM Punk back, that's the only thing really. Do that 6-man, with the Bucks and Omega. FTR.
I mean, you kind of have no choice, right? What else do you have at the top of the card that hasn't been done? That has and the thing is, what will draw in London? It's a different market. It's not the same as drawn in Jacksonville.
So they're building up Adam Cole as like super babyface. So, super babyface Adam Cole versus MGF for the title. That could be something. I'm not saying that's, but that's big for them. They only have so many guys, you know what I mean? Adam Cole is one of their biggest guys. And maybe bring in someone like I know you bring in someone like a Will Ospreay, hometown, you know what I mean? Like you get the fans. If he's in a big match, that might bring people out there. I don't know. It's just they don't have anything built up to where you're like, oh, this is exactly what they're gonna to do for this show,
Yeah.
So it's just very interesting to see how they try to build a WrestleMania type show when they don't really got guys over like that. What about Drew McIntyre? Rumors are that he's a little unhappy. His contract expires in July. Ooh, imagine that.
Here's the thing. Now I hear this and I understand, and I just went on a rant about how my job makes me unhappy. But the thing is, my job also not paying me $1 million.
Yes, it's true. Drew McIntyre is very well paid.
Drew McIntyre is a wealthy man at this point.
Yes, sir.
And I get it. For me, it's so difficult when you're at that Drew McIntyre level and you've been the champion and you've been a top guy and you're still regarded as a upper mid-tier guy.
Yes.
It's not like you're I'll use Broski as the example, Zack Ryder. It's not like you're Zack Ryder where you never really had like the top push, the big, and now you're gonna go and recreate yourself and build yourself back up, and maybe they bring you back one day, maybe they don't, whatever. But Drew McIntyre has been that top guy. At this point, if anything, he's been wrestling long enough where he should just be looking to pad that bank account and check out of the business.
I agree, but I just talked about I got his book, and he does seem like someone who would be like, I want to challenge myself. He seems very into challenging himself and trying to do a next thing, like not going the straight path, going, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna take a detour. So I could see that.
And then good for him. And you know what? The fact that he has money gives him
makes it a little easier, right?
Makes it a little easier. Exactly. And maybe he's the type that genuinely wonders about his legacy. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I don't know enough about him. But it's just, I look at that and I say, it's a lot of fucking money to walk away from, because those guys are making some big money contracts right now.
I gotta see. I've never really looked AEW contracts. I know they obviously making some money because
yeah,
but they're not making that Vince money. I can't imagine.
Well, that's the thing. There is a big difference. Maybe some of the top guys
like
are
Jericho. Maybe
I'm sure like Jericho's making money. I'm sure Punk's contract was astronomical. Daniel Bryan probably, but like
that's 4 guys.
How much is FTR making? I'm sure they're not working for free.
But that's the thing, right?
But are they making? They're not making WWE money either.
But don't you think it would be? Maybe not. It would have to be close, don't you think? If you had, I don't know. I guess guys do just like, we want to wrestle, be able to do our thing, right? That does matter.
I guess that depends on the individual, because you think about athletes as a whole.
Some care about money, some care about legacy.
If a guy is a free agent, where's he going? Me, probably 100 times out of 100, I'm going where the money is. But if the money is close enough, I mean, what's the difference between $5 million and $10 million? Well, it's $5 million. That's a lot of fucking money.
Yes.
But at the same time, how much does that change your lifestyle?
Yes. 10-7, and maybe 7 I play on a better team. Maybe
Jose Ramirez from the Cleveland Indians last year signed the Cleveland Guardians. I'm sorry, signed an extension that was pretty much well under market value, but he still got like 130 million. And he even said, he's like, whether it's 130 or 300, my life doesn't change. I'm still rich.
Yeah.
And he wanted to stay in Cleveland. And that's great. Maybe, you have family considerations like that, especially when you're an athlete and you make your home wherever it is that you play the majority of your games, and they have input in that. With WWE, you're on the road so much that, I mean, you basically have a home wherever, but you're just never there.
It's true.
But you do have these outside considerations, and it's like, well, what is it that really matters to you? And I guarantee maybe Drew McIntyre is the type that, hey, I want to be a top guy. I want to be known. I want to leave a legacy. I want to be the champion. And there are probably plenty of guys out there going, nah, you could just keep paying me. I'm good.
I believe it 100%. A job's a job. You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing. Whether you're taking them bumps or you're not. Hey, I'm getting that paycheck.
Yeah.
But that's it. It seems like the AEW guys, they see like, I just want to work. Like back in the day, you just take that money, you sit on the couch. They call me when they call me, bro. That's it. Now these guys be complaining. Oh my God, I'm on a show once every 6 weeks. It's like so funny. Kevin Nash must be like, what the fuck? These kids, bro.
Yeah, like everybody wants less dates except everyone nowadays, except Roman. Roman's smart.
Smart man.
But he even said, like, because now I guess like people want to talk shit or whatever. But he's like, number one, no one's talking shit to him to his face. And number two, if they were all offered his deal, they would all take his deal.
100%. Everyone wants that Brock Lesnar deal.
Yeah.
Who don't want that shit? Show up 2 times a month, collect a couple mil.
And this is the thing. Like, I understand the Undertaker was on the road every day for 100 years. But the last, 8 years of that streak was just like the Undertaker showing up 3 nights a year.
Oh, please forget about the
and then getting to say he had the best match when he had a year to recover and put it together.
That's the only way he could do those matches, bro.
And that's fine, but like, let's not shit on Brock Lesnar for following the trail that was blazed by the Undertaker.
Brock Lesnar, bro. The stories that'll be told, the books that are written, changed the game, bro. Smart. Anything he did, he's like, bro.
Not a
I know my
mark.
worth. I know my worth. Let's go. That's it. And that's it. If other people can learn from it, bro. Know what you're worth. That's it. I love it. We mentioned Drew McIntyre book. I picked up another wrestling book. My last wrestling book for a while. I'm wrestling out now. It was a Vince McMahon book. Just came out like 2 weeks ago. It was called Ringmaster. Something like that. Abraham.
So I'm assuming it's an unauthorized biography.
You know, of course. So it was interesting. I haven't read a Vince McMahon book probably like 20 years. That Sex, Lies, and Headlocks back in the day. But the only thing is, I feel like, you know, these are all stories we heard before. It's not like it was like, oh my God, Vince did what? You know, it's just like being reminded of a piece of shit he is, basically. Yeah. And also, it kind of, it's like one of these books where it's like very detailed, and then we get to like 99, and now we just start kind of jumping through things, and it's like, but what are we doing? We just spent 400 pages from 80 to the Attitude Era, and now you're just giving me hits. It's like, come on, what are we doing here?
I'm interested to see, like you said, this was a relatively new book, but I would love to know when the author began writing it.
Sure.
Because I have a feeling that with everything that has gone on in the past month, 2 months, we are going to start seeing an awful lot of Vince McMahon expose type stories coming out in the very near future.
I agree 100%. So, you know, this book, it touched on a couple recent things. It did touch on him, even though it focused on the past, it did have some stuff recent, like when he got in trouble, whatever, 6-7 months ago.
Okay.
So it did like kind of touch on some of that stuff. But yeah, for the most part, you know, I think if you know about Vince McMahon, I think you could skip this one. There's no it was well written, the stories were fine, you know, the way the author's point of view and everything was fine. It's just, you know, I was like, yeah, I know this. Oh yeah, Bret Hart fighting. Wrestling with shadows, we got it. I know about the screw job. How many times are gonna hear about it? So,
for me, JoeMeZ, I didn't really consume a lot of media this week, but one thing came out on Easter Sunday.
Ooh, what's this?
It was the finale to my Disney Plus favorite, The Owl House.
Oh, really?
So The Owl House, this would have been season 3.
Mm-hmm.
As they were, I believe, writing season 3, the show was basically canceled.
So they were told to wrap it up.
So they were told, they were given, oh, you could do like this little bit and wrap it up. So it wasn't like a full season 3. It was kind of a rush series of 3 separate specials where the first one came out, and then like 6 weeks was the next one, and then finally we had our finale. And
oh no,
I liked it.
Oh,
but it wasn't the wonderful, you know, like action, you know, just fully fulfilling finale that I was hoping for. It was still good, but it did feel rushed. It did feel compressed because of the timeline that was given to the people in charge, which was a little disappointing. But at the end of the day, I still like the show, and I still liked it. You know, it didn't ruin anything. You know, they tried to wrap it up and give everyone all the happy moments at the end.
So they tried to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad though that you didn't love it. But you know, hey, it didn't, as long as it didn't ruin anything.
No, it wasn't like a fucking Seinfeld finale. Like, don't, you know, like where people got to convince themselves it was great. You know, The Sopranos, where people write dissertations to be like, no, you're the one who doesn't. No, bro, it sucked. You know, like let's this one wasn't that, but it wasn't the, you know, the fantastic, you know, conclusion that we'd been hoping for.
That's a shame. That sucks. But I mean, at least they got to do that. That's better than they did a season and then you're like, guess what, guys?
My Name is Earl, right?
Yeah.
That's the one. Well, a lot of shows, but My Name is Earl is the one I go back to. Just because of like when you got that season finale cliffhanger, you're like, oh, hot damn, what are we doing here? And then like a couple of weeks later, My Name is Earl's been canceled. What?
They always do that shit. Those shows love, especially those silly shows. The silliest shows be leaving you on crazy cliffhangers
all the time.
It's like, what are we doing? What's going on, Crab Man? What's happening here?
So now it's time to find a new show. I've got room in my life. Apparently, The Mandalorian is not going to be that show for a lot of people right now, but
Did you catch up? You up to
I'm
date?
not completely caught up. So I
caught
think
up.
I'm still one episode behind.
Well, that's the one. That's the one that breaks people, bro. That's the one breaking people.
That's what it sounds like.
I'm still on board. Like Star Wars is supposed to be this fun, silly thing. People take it way too seriously. This is like the silliness. Yeah, okay. You're watching a fucking baby green thing. Like, what are we doing? Like they pick and choose. They talk about realistic shit. Shut up. Episode is fine. The series is fine.
Yes, because I know a bunch of squid monsters who play the fucking clarinet when I walk into a bar.
It's ridiculous. But so there was big Star Wars news this week, Joe. For some reason, we do this May the 5th thing, May the 4th. May the 4th be with you bullshit. But we had Star Wars Celebration a full month in advance where they announced all these things. What are we doing next month then? Like, what's the point?
I think we just get to say it and move on about our day and deal with all the memes. So right after, in the aftermath of It's Gonna Be May.
Oh God. So God help us, it's coming. So it was like a Comic-Con thing where they just announced their big
Star Wars Celebration, it's called.
So they announced a couple things, a couple movies. They announced they're gonna make a movie with Rey from the newer sequel. She's gonna come back and try to start a Jedi Order. We'll see about that. It's interesting to see. I am interested to see what happens afterwards. I'm always interested to see how they fill in time gaps, but I think it's a little too early to go back to the Rey. Like, show us other stuff before we go back to the main characters. I feel.
Well, I'm interested to see if John Boyega is going to come back. Not because I want to see him come back, but he doesn't sound like he wants any part of it.
They got to back a massive truckload, and maybe even then, I don't know. He's very.
He seems very happy to be removed from being a part of Star Wars.
He has done, but I think in the Lego Star Wars, I think he did do some of the voices. Like, he has lent his voice. I could be wrong. I could have sworn I heard that he does do some Star Wars stuff. Maybe he just don't want to be live action, so he has to hear people's stupid mouth.
Yeah.
But so the major news that they announced is they're doing a movie where they're going to tie all these TV shows that we've been watching for all these years together. Supposedly. First of all, this movie isn't going to come out for 7 to 8 years. This movie's never coming out.
No.
But it's supposed to bring together Ahsoka, Rebels, Mandalorian into one kind of contained movie. It sounds like a great idea. I doubt it'll happen. Do you like that idea of making a movie where we kind of tie everything together, since it seems that everything is together?
Yes. I mean, I would see it. I would definitely go see it, because obviously it's going to be the only thing out that weekend. Like, no other studio is going to put out anything. Better. But at the same time, it's not something I feel like I need.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't watch all the shows.
I'm like you. I'm still on board with Mandalorian right now. I didn't see this most recent episode that everyone's up in arms over. But all the other shows have been kind of just at best okay, and I still haven't gone back to watch Andor, which people are saying is probably their favorite, that they enjoy a lot. I still haven't gone back because I don't know, between the Boba Fett and the Obi-Wan, and there's a lot of mediocrity there, and I don't really want to make. I don't necessarily know that I want to make another commitment to another Star Wars show, and that's what's holding me back from that. So, for a lot of characters that I only half care about, not something I need or not something I'm petitioning for at all.
Do you think it's smart to do a movie, all these TV shows on Disney Plus, and now you're making people go to the theater to see a movie? What do you think about that? You think that's smart?
I do not, because if you couldn't get people in the theaters to watch Young Han Solo, I don't think you're getting people into the theaters to watch, the B-level collection of the Justice League.
You know, I hear, like, I've never watched Rebels. I hear it's fantastic. I hear Rebels are people's favorite of the cartoon shows. You know,
It's good. I don't
You know,
necessarily like the animation as much as I do Clone Wars, so that kind of takes it down for me.
sure. So, you know, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, people
Yeah.
showed up on that episode you watched. There was someone from Rebels on there that people were losing their minds about at the bar. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
really?
I'm like, okay. Yeah, I don't forget his name, but there was some guy in that episode,
But this is
the
the thing
pilot
too, is
episode.
I'm not so invested in Star Wars that I know every C-level
Sure.
character where I could win a game of Star Wars Trivial Pursuit, because it'll be like, oh, who's the guy who sings at Jabba's palace? And the answer is Cy Snoodles, but who fucking knows that?
Bro, I love Cy Noodles. He's my favorite. It's the
You
truth.
know, even when we did our major pod trip to Disney, Broski bought the little creature to sit on his shoulder, and he would like wave his hands and stuff. And I looked at that and I go, is that Salacious B. Crumb? And like, fucking Broski's a hardcore Star Wars fan. It was like, oh, is that what his name is? You know, like, but like, some of these fucking things have such ridiculous names. They're in the fucking, like, obviously you recognize it sometimes when you've watched it 1,000 times, but something like this is in there for like fucking 5 seconds. Who gives a fuck?
But in the comics, he's got a 12-issue arc that culminates when he saved Luke Skywalker.
It's like if you watch Clone Wars, all the clones of Jango Fett are
yes, they all have names and shit,
and they all have real names, and you want me to? I know Captain Rex, and that's about it.
I get it. One thing announced that made me pop. It means nothing to you, I'm sure, is Grand Admiral Thrawn. He's my favorite Star Wars character. I read all his books. I love him. Big blue bastard.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming. He's gonna be probably the main bad guy.
Well, they
need a main baddie. He's been teased.
Yes.
I believe he's even in Rebels, right? He's in a couple episodes of Rebels,
even
I believe.
In what was it?
They dropped names.
But in one of the Disney Plus shows where Ahsoka made the cameos for a couple
they
episodes.
dropped his name, yeah. So it's the guy who's been doing the voice acting of him. So, like I said, I'm not too familiar with him. I've seen the episode, but I don't remember because I was just like, "Oh, there's a Thrawn episode. Let me watch it." But so I'm excited, cautiously
optimistic.
We'll see. I'm excited, but we'll see. But other than that, there's nothing else. There was some Ahsoka stuff, nothing crazy.
I'm excited for Ahsoka. Ahsoka has become one of my favorite characters within the Star Wars universe. And just like anyone else at the beginning of Clone Wars, not an Ahsoka fan. By the end of Clone Wars, fucking love me some Ahsoka.
It's easy to know. She's annoying in the beginning. But I mean, she's,
But that was part of the story.
Like that. Yeah,
that was the story.
Like that.
Exactly.
That's how she is. Exactly. You're not supposed to love her at first. She's like, who's this young little annoying bastard? And then Anakin takes care of her. Oh, so sweet. I hear they showed the 7th episode. That's the episode that comes out this week. So it's out already. It's supposed to be a banger episode that people are going to be talking about.
Of Mandalorian.
Oh. No, people have been hinting. No one wants to drop any spoilers, but everyone's like, next week, there's going to be people who've been talking shit who are going to be back on track. That's what I heard.
You said you're still on board. I said I'm still on board with where it's gone for what I've seen so far. How do you feel about Din Djarin kind of taking a back seat in this season? And I guess one of the directors came out and said it's not necessarily him that is the Mandalorian anymore. It's more about the people of the Mandalorian. And we've had more of an emphasis on Bo-Katan in this season. A lot of people complaining about that because this was their cowboy, right? And now
But he's there. He's doing stuff. He's a part of it. I like it. Like I said, I don't mind because he's still there, and this is a full story. That's the thing. Everyone complains, so this is one part of a story. So he takes a back seat for 3 episodes. Doesn't mean the next 4 seasons are all Din. You know what I mean? So, like, I have no problem to build up Mandalore. That's important. you know?
I actually kind of like it because, like we had been saying earlier, when it comes to Grogu, the novelty would wear off, and it's almost like now we're getting a palate cleanser from Grogu.
Sure.
Because he's been de-emphasized, and he's still there.
Yeah.
But it's not like the whole show is revolving around the cuteness of this fucking little frog thing.
You didn't watch this week's, bro.
Well,
he's there doing cute stuff. Doing his flips.
So I'm still a week behind though.
That's people complain about his flipping. It looks silly. He always looks silly. He's a little green guy. It doesn't look realistic when the green.
It looked fucking silly when they showed the image of him sitting in a classroom stealing cookies from the kid sitting next to him. That looks silly too, but everyone said, "Oh, this is fucking great." Let's spend billions of dollars on dolls and action figures.
Oh my goodness! I mentioned that no one was trying to spoil this episode. Joe, have you this week come across any Succession spoilers? I know you don't watch Succession.
So because
this was a big thing.
It doesn't even pop onto my radar. I may have without even knowing it, you know, whether it's people talking in my timeline about it, but because I don't really have even an understanding of what happens in Succession,
sure,
it's just white noise to me.
Because something happened. I won't spoil it. Something happens. Something major happens on the show, and it wasn't people necessarily. It's fucking Entertainment Weekly.
Oh my god, these shows are the worst.
Fucking people. Yeah. Like, I'm waking up Monday morning. The show comes out Sunday 9:00. Monday morning, I'm waking up to not even like where they do the thing like if someone was to die, they'll be like, "Oh my god, this character's shocking death," like something like that. But they won't tell you who it was. This is the headline.
Steve got hung from the
this
temporal
person did this, and I'm just like, wow. And I love reading the comments because the comments are just, bro, what the show's been out for? What? It's just people losing their minds.
And this happens too with all the streaming drops. You know, if something gets dropped at midnight Pacific time, which ends up being a 3 a.m. Eastern time, and you got to wake up 6 a.m. for work, you wake up at 6, you look at your phone, and you have to really train yourself. Like, if there's something you don't want to see, you have to make the effort to stay away because it's going to be spoiled for you. If you're a West Coast wrestling fan who doesn't watch Raw until 9:00 your time, even though it's airing on the East Coast at 6:00 your time, you have to go out of your way to stay away from the places where you're going to read the spoilers.
100%, especially because like WWE website, every 2 seconds, the minute something happens on Raw, they're putting out the clip.
Yeah, they're tweeting it.
Yeah, so that's what sports, live sports to the world.
Why, Trish? Why?
Oh, so funny. So it's just, I expect it from people, but when it's fucking entertainment website, just not even giving a fuck. It's just, what do we do?
No, because it's all.
And I'm not someone who cares about, but it's just, I got to be first. We got to be the first.
But that's it, and you got to maximize those clicks.
What a shitty world
we live in.
That's
the world we live in. We live in a world. You know, even you and I, when it comes to this podcast, we're sitting here before we do the show talking about how many impressions we're getting on social media. Like, at the end of the day, you think if you do something good, you do something fun, you do something entertaining, that would count. But if no one sees it, don't matter what the fuck you're doing. No one cares.
Oh man. All right, real fast before we get into our main event here. I watched a couple things. I consumed some stuff this week. I'll go real fast here.
You listen to a book.
I didn't even say that. Why are we being fresh? I'm talking about what I watched now. I'm not even talking about my ear hole.
Well, because I'm talking
about my eye hole.
You switched over to the I consumed, and I was like, here we go.
No. Just because I consumed a couple things here. So first, I watched this show. I'm on HBO Max. I'm just looking like, oh, what's on HBO Max? And this picture comes up. I'm going to put it on the screen here. It's for the show called Royal Crackers, okay? And I saw this picture and I said, bro, is this the new Metal Kid? And let me tell you something. There's a show on HBO Max, okay? It's about a family business. The dad is a big cracker guy, owns a big cracker business. and his kids
A
fighting
cracker
over stuff.
business, you
Yes,
say?
cracker, like Ritz crackers, some bullshit.
Okay.
And
So not like a white people business.
no.
Because that's where I thought this was going.
So, the kids are regular, except for the oldest son. He wears a backwards hat. He wears a corn shirt. And he
And some
talks
Janko
about
jeans.
he wears big jeans. And he talks about he was in a band called, I think it's called Taint or something. And he was a new metal kid. He toured and he talked, they make corn jokes, Limp Bizkit jokes. This show, bro, I don't even know where it came from. I don't know who makes it. I don't know who the fuck the voices are. All I know is there's a new metal character, and I couldn't be happier, bro. I love it. It's the best. HBO Max, check it out. It's only a couple episodes so far. They do the once a week. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe. It's like looking in the mirror, bro. I said they made a cartoon about me. I don't own no cracker business. What's happening?
Well, I mean, it's never too late to chase those dreams, Tobias.
I do love a good Ritz cracker. So good. I watched. There's a new show on Netflix. Just came out this past week.
Yes, there is.
It's called Beef.
Oh,
you hear about this one?
No, but I know it's What's for Dinner.
It's about a road rage incident that escalates and escalates and escalates.
Oh,
and it's a
Ric Flair show.
Woo! It's a comedy drama. It's a dramedy, I guess. It's funny, but it's gets dark at times.
Mm-hmm.
It's 30-minute episodes, about 35-minute episodes. There's 10 episodes on there. I watched about the first half of it, 3-4 episodes. It's good. It's funny. Ali Wong is one of the people. The other guy is, what's this guy name?
Scott Baio.
No, he's Asian from Walking
Scott
Dead.
Bakula.
Glenn. Stephen.
Stephen Young.
I believe so. Yes. So it's him and Ali Wong. They're the two road rage people, and escalates. It's very good. I think you would enjoy it. It's a good watch. And then lastly, this was
not on WrestleMania.
Poor guy. This was, I wasn't expecting to do this, but the wife started watching this and kept telling me, no, let's watch it together. Because she watches lots of things by herself. She'll watch her girly stuff. I guess you'll call it, like a Wind River on Netflix. Those kind of girly shows. Never Have I Ever. All the shows that our friend Pete Cool watches.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So stuff like that.
Put it in terms that I can understand.
You got it now. And
for those of you who don't know Pete Cool, follow him on what's his Twitter? I think just at Peter Longo. Everybody follow Pete Cool.
It's a good follow.
He's a big TikTok guy now. Follow him on TikTok.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this. I gotta get on there.
He loves all the different filter videos you can make. He might make 4 or 5 a day.
I love it. I gotta follow him now. So my wife started watching the show, and she's like, "No, this is a show you should watch." So we are now watching Yellowstone, Joe, the #1 show in the country. So far so good. I think
you're just starting at the beginning, season 1 then.
Season 1, yeah. Okay. Never watched it. Not that it's not something I would want to watch, but it's just like, I'll get to it. It's not.
Yeah.
I do like Westerns, I do like cowboy shit, but I don't run to it. It's always like a thing like, oh man, that was a good ass movie, that Western, Mm-hmm. But I'm like, you know what I want to watch today?
What does everybody want? Yellowstone.
So this is on Peacock. I think there's 4 seasons now. Maybe the 4th season just ended or something because it's still on the air. It's still the #1 show. Mm-hmm. And it's good. I like Kevin Costner. You a fan of Kevin Costner? Right? He's not bad.
Sure. I don't dislike Kevin Costner.
It's okay. I'll probably be done with the first season next week, and I'll report back, see if it's worth the hype here. There's a lot of crazy shit going on. I'll tell you, 2 episodes, people have died. There's a lot of crazy fucking shit going on. So it's very dramatic. I'll say that.
I've spent a little time on HBO Max, not to watch something new, even though what I am watching is new to me. But like I said, I really haven't been feeling up to a lot. I'm very unmotivated. So I want, like, I've been looking for those comfort shows, just to like veg out and not think and try to, just kind of decompress a little bit. And HBO Max has all the South Parks up.
Yes, they do.
Including the new season.
Yes.
And I've just been watching South Park from probably the last 3 years.
Wow.
And this show is still fucking good. Like,
I'm sure it is.
And no one talks about South Park anymore.
Ever. Nope.
And it's a crying shame because now we're looking at 26 seasons of South Park?
Insane.
Absurd to think that.
People don't know a world without South Park. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and we talk about The Simpsons and how long The Simpsons has been around, but let's be clear. The Simpsons has a very distinct downward point where the quality of the shows does go down. And outside of a few that pop up in between that, oh man, we finally got a good Simpsons episode, you've only had like 11 of them over the past 13 years.
Yeah, The Simpsons, it's not terrible, but it ain't great either. You'll watch it, you'll get 1 or 2 chuckles. It's not what it used to be. It used to be holding your side laughing.
Listen, you watch those first 10 seasons, which is fucking 10 seasons of The Simpsons is incredible. But after that, there's a very distinct downward slope in the quality and the humor in the shows, because it's just how many times can you have Homer and Marge almost break up? At some point it's trite. Somehow South Park continues to find ways with the same characters to be smart and funny with their social commentary. And I don't care who they're picking on. If you want to make fun of Republicans, go ahead. I'm with it. You want to make fun of Democrats? Go ahead. I'm with it. You want to make fun of red people, orange people, alien people, frog people? I don't give a fuck. Make me laugh. If it's funny, I will laugh. And South Park continues to make me laugh.
One thing I've seen about South Park in the later years that people complain about is too much Randy. Do you feel that Randy is too much of a character sometimes in these seasons that you've been watching?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, okay. At times I don't know how many seasons it's been now, but Randy opened up a marijuana farm called Integrity Farms. And yes, Randy can be too much, which is a shame because Randy is my favorite character and has been for fucking decades at this point.
Oh, yes, it's the truth. Oh, yes, that's something I see. So I was wondering about that. All right. It's funny because I when I was going through, I saw because they had the new season of South Park. I actually looked and I was like, God damn, 26 seasons. I was like looking, going, so crazy. This is so like, God damn, 26.
Like I remember clearly being the first season, South Park Mania.
The first episode was crazy.
Bro, when they did that first Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo.
Unbelievable.
Like that was just you never seen something so funny. It was like when JoeMeZ used to watch Sinbad on Comedy Central, you would think.
Bro, that was funny. Oh man, that's it. But these shows, you either get canceled early or you just fucking keep rocking, bro.
Yeah.
It's insane. Fucking American Dad, 18 seasons, bro.
Oh my god.
Still going strong on TBS.
Wild.
Insane. It's like I'll be watching AEW and a commercial comes up. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? This show? And American Dad was great. I loved it.
What's funny about American Dad is when it first started, I remember watching it going, I just don't see where I would like any of these characters. And it probably took like a full season for me to kind of warm up into it. But then once I did, I was like, I like this show much better than I like Family Guy.
Yes. I can't say I haven't watched Family Guy in 100 years, but that's probably 24 seasons now, right?
Who even know? I mean, but if you take into account how many times it got canceled and brought back, but who even knows anymore? Realistically, I couldn't even tell you.
But still, people still talk about it. People still put up their Family Guy memes.
Still watching popular. Every fucking opening day, I got to watch that Stewie Griffin clip about the Mets, and the season's over. Every fucking year, it's posted on my Facebook wall 150 times. Just like every July 1st, everybody I've ever met in my life
Bobby
wants to send me a
Bonilla
text
Day.
message about Bobby Bonilla.
Yes, the only team to ever do it.
How come the Cincinnati Reds fans aren't getting text messages saying, hey, Ken Griffey Jr. is your third highest paid baseball player this season? This season, in 2023.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, no one talks about that.
He's been in the Hall of Fame for 5 years already.
It's crazy. Oh, man. Goodness gracious. I'm going to the Met game next week.
At me.
Oh, my goodness. I'm going to the Met game tomorrow. So next week I will have a report of all the delicious new food. I can't wait to talk about it. Oh, my God.
Looks like I'm going to have to be making a trip soon, which shouldn't be too difficult because I will be in the New York area at the end of May to defend my FWF Tag Team Championships.
Oh, baby. The tickets go on sale? Yeah, I know you said tickets are going to be very limited.
They're going to be very limited, and they will be exclusive to Patreon members of the Major Pod
Sons
Network.
of bitches.
There will
What's
only
the cheapest? What's the cheapest I could do? $5 so I could get some. Try to get some tickets. I'm gonna sign up $5. So I
actually, don't quote me on that because I don't know if they're limiting it to different tiers or if it's
might
Patreon
be a
as a whole
thing.
But I know there's only going to be 60 tickets available. It is. We're going the studio wrestling route.
I will try. I will attempt to do it if I can. What day was it? Did you say?
I believe May 28th.
Oh no, the Mets are not in town that week.
Then I will not be seeing them.
That's sad.
I'll have to catch them the next time I defend the FWF Tag Team titles.
Should be every week, bro.
Well, I'm very busy. Like this week, for instance. I will be in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
That's finally here.
In the $5,000 winner-take-all battle royal. I told them just print my name on that novelty check already because I am taking it home. I'm going right to the pay window to the car dealership, and we're driving out with a brand new Cadillac, baby girl.
Love it, baby. You can take a couple of days off with that nice check, bro.
Well, I got to drive the Cadillac back to Florida from Wisconsin, so I'm going to need a few days.
Oh, I love it. That's it for me watching stuff, except for...
Yeah, we got one big thing left, right?
One big thing, yes.
It's Video Game Movie Month, Gomez. It's still that. Right.
What better way to celebrate it with the biggest video game movie of all time, bro? My goodness. Who would have saw this coming? I can't imagine. The fact that this is like a surprise to some people that this movie made $1 billion. Bro, we've been dying for a Mario movie for fucking ever, bro. There are 50-year-olds, 40-year-olds, 30, 20, 10 years. All ages have been dying to see a Mario movie. I mean, I'm surprised it didn't make even more money.
So I am surprised that John Leguizamo was boycotting this movie.
So stupid.
Because a white guy played Luigi.
He's so stupid.
And the unintended consequence of John Leguizamo's actions is that, like, idiots like Charlie Kirk then pick it up and they go,
I know.
This is a win for, against wokeism.
Oh, yeah, no, this movie made money because it wasn't woke.
Yes.
Not that it was the most anticipated fucking movie of the year, probably, if you ask people of a certain age. My goodness gracious. Plus, on top of that, they wanted to say it was woke when they saw the trail. It was woke when they saw the trailers and Peach was doing all that shit, People forget about that. Those same people.
That the fucking princess is the one who runs the movie here.
Yeah, fucking idiots. But it made $1 billion because this is the Mario movie we've been waiting for, Joe. Super Mario Brothers. Oh, baby.
Super Mario Brothers getting a lot of mixed feedback on the internet.
Yes.
And honestly, I mean, we might as well hit the fucking music right here.
We'll hit it right now. We'll start with it.
We'll start with it. Let's do it.
Start with it.
Are you a man? A double main man? Are you a man? A triple main man? A man? A quadruple main man? Are you our mine?
Joseph, Super Mario Bros. Movie. Main man standing. Where you putting this son of a bitch?
Listen, you fucking jackals. I'm going to tell it to you straight. I'm gonna give you some straight dick, as they used to say back in the 60s.
Did they?
That was a real phrase.
I know. Yes.
So make this a segment from now on. Straight dick with shoes.
Straight dicking with.
But if you have a problem with this movie, it's not the movie that's the problem. It's fucking you. It's you. I don't know what else you could have wanted from a Super Mario Brothers movie. This movie is fun. The pace is good. I enjoy the characters. Sure, the storyline's a little goofy. Maybe you haven't heard, but it's the fucking Super Mario Brothers.
What's
it's
the
not
story,
the fucking
bro?
English Patient, you idiots. Maybe you haven't heard. This is the goddamn Mushroom Kingdom. Oh, yeah, I don't know. It fucking wasn't realistic. It took me out of it. You idiots! You buffoons! The fuck are you talking about? It's a Super Mario Brothers movie. It was fucking awesome. I loved it. I went into this movie with no expectations. Zero expectations. And I walked out of this movie going, holy shit, what a fantastic time at the theater. That's what I said. And I said it to anyone who would listen. There wasn't a lot of people left because I don't think people knew that there was an after credit scene. So I just stayed in my seat and waited. So when I said it, I don't necessarily know that anyone was listening to me. But I did say it. So, I don't know. Fuck it. 5 stars. Quintuple main man.
Oh. So, like, I don't go to the Super Mario Brother movie expecting, across the Spider-Verse, fucking Coco. Like, that's not what we're here for. So I don't get those complaints at all. The movie is fun. I can't imagine someone who's ever picked up a Nintendo controller not enjoying this movie. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I don't get it.
I feel like the story was done well for the kids. I felt like it was easy for the adults. And even if it was a little childish at times, that's fine. But there were so many Easter eggs built into this movie for people in you and my age group to enjoy and still sit there and be like, oh, and this is this, and this is this. And then to be able to, after the movie, say, hey, when you saw this, it was because when they open the show with the fucking Super Mario Brothers Super Show intro, they open it. They open it with that.
I was like, this is the best movie. I was like, this is great. That's the thing. There's so many music cues, bro. Just little things.
Oh my God.
Playing like 5 seconds of the song and then going back to the regular. It's great. I can imagine this has so much replay value. Just trying to find every little thing.
I would agree with that.
Every little thing. Because I'm watching it, and what would I want a Super Mario Brothers movie to be? I don't know, right? He's got to fight Bowser somehow. He's got to say that, like, I don't know. This works. Like, he goes to hang out with Donkey Kong. They do a little Mario Kart stuff.
Exactly. Like, we got some Donkey Kong. We got Mario Kart. We got a Diddy Kong reference.
I fucking pop for Diddy Kong. Oh, it's so good. I would love my Donkey Kong Country. Oh, that was my shit. Love that game. So yeah, like I don't like I get you don't have to love the movie, whatever, but to be here and be like, oh my God, what is this movie? Bro, it's a Super Mario Bros. Movie. He fucking ate some power-ups. He did some shit. Like what do you want, bro?
He had the Goombas. He had the little turtles. He turned into the fucking raccoon at one point. Like,
so good when he turned into the raccoon. I was like, oh my God, the raccoon.
Like, I walked out of that movie and I texted our group chat and I said, I hope this movie makes all the fucking money in the world because I had a great time watching a movie. And if I could put what I thought a Super Mario Brothers movie should be, it should be this tone, this tenor. I know we all complained about Chris Pratt being the voice of an Italian guy. I didn't even fucking notice, bro.
No, he did good. I thought all the voices were good. Jack Black's great. Chris Pratt, again, I thought he was fine. Everyone was nervous. I think he did a good job the way he did the voice. I like how they played up the Italian voice for the
For the
commercial.
commercial,
Playing it
so
up.
good.
So funny. I liked it. I feel like if there wasn't something, if you're upset that something wasn't in this movie, it's probably just because you got to save one or two things, right? I guess for a sequel.
There's only so much time in a fucking movie. Like I
I
thought for what they had, I thought they fit in an incredible amount of references.
It is. It's 90 minutes, so it just flies by. I saw it, guys. I saw the director say most people like to play Mario really fast. So we wanted to make a really fast Mario movie where you're in the scenes and you're trying to get to the end. You're not trying. You're trying to go. They accomplished it. This is definitely like the best movie to take a kid because there's no downtime.
Yeah,
there's always something happening. It looks the animation is
great,
pretty.
right? The colors pop.
Great.
It looks pretty. The scenes, the settings that they've built within this world. Mushroom Kingdom looks phenomenal when Mario first comes here and you see it laid out in front of you, and then even when there's the scene where him and Luigi are running away
in Brooklyn.
Yes, and it's built like a Mario level.
So
if you pick up on it, I was like, oh my God,
so
like
good.
This is really like the people who made this movie obviously know their Mario. They care about their Mario. They wanted to make something, true to the spirit of Mario Brothers. And fuck, man, I'm not kidding when I say 5 stars. And I don't say it like it's the greatest movie I've ever seen in my life, but it's everything I would want this property to be in a movie. Like if you say, Joe, what do you want in a He-Man movie? It's not going to be the fucking Oscar winner, but give me what I want from a He-Man movie and it's 5 stars. That's what I got here with Mario Brothers. I got light humor. I got fast. I got good colors. I got good references. It just was a good time. And at the end of the day, all we should want to have is a good time.
So this is a movie from Illumination. They make the Minion movie, Secret Life of Pets. And so they have this formula down to a science. Those Minion movies, they're not great, but they're good. They make you laugh. When you walk out of the movie, you're like, man, that was a fun ass movie. You have a good time.
And
they know
kids
how to make
can't get fucking enough of it.
Yeah, they know how to make a good time at the movies. And this is a good time with a Mario movie. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. We're going to rock out there. It's great. I can't wait to see it again. I can't imagine them not making a part 2. Obviously,
not after the amount of money it made this week.
It didn't even come out in Japan yet, and it made all this money. So just imagine, like, it's going to be insane. Is there anything? What would you like to see in the sequel? Obviously, they hint at a fan favorite character with the post credit scene.
So we get 2 post credit, 1 mid credit scene, 1 post credit scene. Was that a reference to Godzilla? Was that what that was?
It could be.
Like I'm just trying to think. I'm watching it going. I'm sure this is like a direct ripoff of some scene in another movie. And I was wondering if that was like the '98 Godzilla or something.
I gotta double check it again. Now you got me intrigued.
It's me being curious. It's not me knowing anything.
I love when you're curious.
Yeah, but I love when we had all the Yoshis.
Yes. So I think right, for the sequel, you could have the Koopa kids, right? You bring in the Koopa kids. Do you want to see maybe Wario, Waluigi?
But that's
the thing.
I was almost wondering if they were going to bring them out in this movie. I'm glad they didn't. Probably would have been overkill. But yeah, like you said, you got to save stuff for the sequel. It made a shit ton of money. It's coming back. Folks, if you're out there and you did not like this movie, look at yourself in the mirror. Do it right now. Put this on pause. Actually, no. Pick up your phone, take it to the bathroom with you. Look in the mirror. Point at yourself and say, I'm the fucking problem. It's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Say that to yourself 3 times. That way you remember it.
That way you remember it. Oh man. Yes, I think we're good here.
Yeah, me too. Go see this. If you haven't seen this movie, fucking go see it, dude. It's a great time at the theaters.
That's it. This movie's fun. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see it again. I will definitely be catching it when it comes out on streaming. Look forward
Yeah,
to it.
I genuinely am looking forward to seeing it again already. And I normally don't like seeing movies like that soon.
Yeah,
after,
I try not to, but once in a while.
This one,
you got to
I'm
make
like,
an exception every once in a while.
So okay, we finally had a hit for Video Game Movie Month.
Yeah.
But now we're about to hit something that's going to probably piss me off for Video Game Movie Month. Isn't that right, Gomez?
Yeah, baby. Now that the Super Mario Brothers movie is out, we got to go back to our wheel to find out what we're watching for this week and the rest of the month. The rest of the month is all wheel, baby. Baby, let's spin this wheel. We got some good ones here. Oh, what a lie.
I'm just watching it be slow.
What a lie. What a lie.
I saw it said Double Dragon at one point. I'm just like,
Oh, yes. Oh, goodness gracious.
What the hell? You gotta be fucking kidding me. They made a movie of that?
So, for those of you not on video, the wheel has come up on House of the Dead. Now, if you know what this movie is, I bet everybody is clapping and hooting and hollering. This movie, Joseph, this is a movie. Let me tell you something.
Oh, is it? This movie is a movie.
This movie. So this movie was supposed to be a big thing because House of the Dead, right? Who hasn't played that at the arcade, right?
Big arcade game.
It's the game with the gun. You step on the paddle and you're killing zombies. You got a blue gun, a red gun. Everybody's played at least one version. I think there's like 4 different versions of it. So this came out, I think, like in 99.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And it was supposed to be a big deal.
The movie came out in 99, you're saying?
Yeah, I believe so. I gotta double check.
Holy smokes.
This is an old ass movie. House of the Dead movie. Let's see here. My Google machine.
It's probably some Tubi shit.
Excuse me, 2003 this movie came out. Excuse me. It was supposed to be a big deal because video game movies didn't really happen back then, right? It wasn't like a thing. And let me tell you, this movie
that would have been around the same time we got the Tomb Raider movie.
Sure, yes, because Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
Was popping off at that time.
And that had to have made money because she was such a fucking star at that point.
And they had a sequel, so I can't imagine they would make a number 2 without it making money. So I saw this movie when it first came out. Let me tell you, Joe, it's one of the worst movies you ever saw. But
great.
But it is one of these so bad it's good movies. It's not one of these trying to be bad that it's good, you know what I'm saying? Where like we're trying to make a bad movie. No, this is a real movie that just happens to be terrible, but you will get enjoyment out of it. It became such a thing that they re-released this movie called the funny version, where it was played up the comedy because it became such a thing. So when DVDs became a thing, it was like, oh, let's put out a special edition funny version of this.
Unbelievable.
So I'm excited for this just because I think we're gonna get some fun Joe shoes here because I know you love movies like this.
Yeah, I love bad movies.
So I mentioned that only a few movies, of course, 2 movies were not on streaming. This is not available anywhere. I will be showing it on my Twitch for all our wonderful fans because this is a movie I want everyone to see. Twitch.tv/MEZ movie. I got it right. Hallelujah.
First time ever.
I'm going to be showing it all weekend.
I'm excited.
If not, you could pay your $2. You know, it's available to rent. It's just not available for free unless you go to my Twitch. Please watch this movie with us because I think you're going to have fun hearing Joe's review. I just, I'm taking a guess.
I hate this fucking wheel.
Oh, you say that, but Joe, it's time for another wheel.
Oh, good.
You know, you love the wheels. Come on,
I don't like what it's done to me lately.
bro. When you get bangers like top 3 muffins, how can you not be excited to spin this wheel?
I didn't even know there were 3 muffins.
I love muffins, though. Come on. There's lots of muffins. You just don't eat muffins. You know, like grab a muffin when you need something quick to eat or something. You're like a 7-Eleven or.
I'm a croissant boy.
Okay, I get. All right, that is the difference. It is croissant or muffins, basically. That is true. You go to a hotel, you grab a little. I get it. Croissants are great. I love a croissant. I'm not gonna hate you for that. But
I like going to Walmart and buying the little plastic pack of like the 12 croissants.
Oh, that is
because sometimes I'm in a croissant mood and I just sit there and I eat croissants and watch the movie, like a movie or something. Or put on the Mets. It's croissant time, baby.
Croissant time, baby. Really, it's big finish time, baby.
It's now time for the big finish.
All right, baby. Big finish time. You ready? I'm ready.
Sure.
I love spinning wheels. You just spin wheels all day. Whatever it lands on, we gotta talk about. Wheel of topics. We just talk about whatever nonsense.
Yes, we talk about top 3 topics.
Yes. Oh, baby. If you thought muffins was good, if you thought muffins was a banger, are you ready, Joe? Are you ready for your top 3 favorite colors? Here we go.
You know you're an asshole because I'm colorblind, right?
Oh, what colors you love, baby?
The ones I can't see?
Let's see. We're going to go with blue. I love the blue.
Blue sounds good.
I love a red. What's going to be number 2? Like a green? Maybe a gray? I don't know. We'll go green. We'll go blue, red, green. Christmas colors.
I'm going to go blue, white, and pink. The colors of my flamingo t-shirt.
That's good. Pink is a good color. Look at that. Nice and easy. Bing, bam, boom. We bang that shit out here.
If there's one thing I know, it's my colors.
Oh, Joe, hit him with them plugs so we can get out of here.
Guys, thanks for listening to the JoeMeZ podcast. Remember to hit subscribe wherever it is that you're taking this in, whether that be on YouTube or any of the podcast listening apps. Leave us a 5-star review. We would greatly appreciate that and helps us with the algorithm. If you would like, youtube.com/@JoeMeZ please hit the subscribe. We're putting up clips all the time, full episodes if you want to watch it. That would be greatly appreciated. Like I said, you can find me this weekend, the 15th of April, Saturday night, ACW, Wisconsin, in the Battle Royal, winning the novelty check for $5,000 and go in from the pay window to the car lot. And we're going to kill it because that's what I do. Follow me on all the social media at CardJoeMeZ, youtube.com/CardJoeMeZ, and ProWrestlingTees.com/JoeShoes. New shirt alert. The Magic Shugi, as designed by George Feast from the Game Marks podcast. And Going Postal came out great. It's my little tribute to Keith Hernandez shirt. So that's ProWrestlingTees.com/JoeShoes.
The Gomez154 Instagram and Twitter. And that Twitch stream will be live this weekend, all weekend, probably starting Friday, maybe Thursday, who knows. But all weekend, come on in, twitch.tv/MezMovie. We watching House of the Dead, baby. Come on. Good shit.
And with that, Gomez, let's make like Tom and cruise.
Peace.